Fourth and Amplify podcast is brought to you by Death Squad UK. We are in no way affiliated with Brian Redband's original setup, but he inspired us to do this podcast. This week, me, Ben Burrows, at BritPodcaster on Twitter, and Declan Whiteside, at Dienicus Undead on Twitter, are going to try and break down the current world's political and economic fuckery that is going on at the moment. Now, as they say in the United Kingdom of Northern Ireland and Great Britain, let us start this motherfucker. Can you believe it that I actually started the intro a little bit too fucking far in? Can you believe it? After all the fucking...
I can't believe that.
After all the perfection that I tried to do today, the one thing that lets me down is my fucking intro, as it always does. Okay, we're going to jump straight into it. Owen Paterson is the Environmental Minister, and he says that the UK should lead the way in Europe by growing genetically modified crops that reduce the use of fertiliser and chemicals and are more efficient. But anti-GM campaigners say that there is not enough evidence that GM techniques are not harmful to the food environment. Genetically modified food in the UK should not be fucking allowed. I want to be able to buy and fucking eat food that I know has not been tampered with scientifically. If you're gonna fuck about with food, you're gonna fuck about with it by adding chemicals to the process, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Nature does not intend to be fucked about with chemicals to be added to it. There's enough food at the moment in the food chain to supply the whole fucking world, right? Even though these areas of the world now that are in severe poverty, and the children and the families are suffering from severe starvation. Have you ever seen the pictures of the kids with the massive bellies?
Yeah,
do you remember those?
You can't miss them in this fucking country.
You don't see those really on TV anymore, but in the 90s they were really prominent, weren't they? Mm-hmm. That is due to hunger, isn't it? That is, even though they haven't had they're completely malnutritious. It's like the stomach is completely fucking swollen up. There's enough food on the planet now to supply every fucking body in the world comfortably, but the amount of food that we, the first world nations, chuck away is absolutely fucking scandalous. The last thing that we need to do as a civilised fucking country is to start pissing about with genetically modified food.
Well, let's face facts, fucking fertilisers are probably about 10 times safer than the fucking genetically modified stuff.
Well, one of the reasons why they want to start the genetically modified food is that to protect crops. So you don't need to add fertilisers to the food that's already there, so you don't need to spray shit already on it. Now, there's a massive problem with doing that. After they found in America now, this is published, this is already wide known. These genetically modified organisms, as they're known in the free market, they have started to produce cockroaches that are super immune to the genetically modified food already. So they're starting to decimate their crops, and the fertilisers out there at the moment, they're completely fucking immune to it, because nature has found a way. As Jurassic Park said, nature finds a fucking way, and nature did find a way. The cockroaches, it did have a good innings. It had a good innings for a couple of years, the genetically modified shit. But nature adapted, and now there's these fucking superhuman fucking cockroaches out there that the GMO wheat, it's not killing them anymore. One of the former pro-GMO researchers, scientist, what's the guy's name? Dr. Terry Verray. He said he reviews the claims of the biotechnology companies that the engineered crops yield more, that they require less pesticide and applications, that they have no impact on the environment, and they are safe to eat. The scientific literature is full of studies showing that engineered corn and soya contain toxic or allergenic proteins. So this is a guy who was pro-GMO, and he's coming out and saying that they are toxic, and they are fucking they have got allergenic proteins in it. There was a study done over in Russia of GMO, I think it was rats, it was either rats or mice. You can see now on the screen, the mouse on the left is normal fed. It was normal fed, what was it say? The laboratory test by Russian National Academy of Sciences reported that more than half the babies from mother rats fed GMO soy died within 3 weeks. The babies in the GM group were also smaller and could not reproduce. Rats fed a commercial rat chow. What's that? Chow using GM soy within 2 months had infant mortality facility wide reaching 55%. Look at the rat on the right hand side. That is
know.
Monsanto, GM fed. Look at the fucking state of it.
I know,
And
yeah.
they want to put that in the fucking food chain. It's look at the testicle of the rat. Normal fed, it looks healthy. GM fed, look at the state of its fucking bollocks.
What the fuck are they called? Fucking grandfather beans?
Just based on that alone, you do not want to see that in the food chain. These are fucking rats. Have they managed to manipulate it and program it enough so that humans don't have the same effect to it? I mean, there's nowhere. I can't see. When I was researching the show, I googled monkeys effects to GMO, and there was no pictures out there at all.
Yeah,
and I can't understand that. They must be doing it in utter secrecy. Would you buy something that says genetically modified on it?
Well, it would depend, wouldn't it? Entirely, not food wise. There are genetically modified things out there, but
not in the UK.
Food, just no. It's too fucking much. There's not enough research out there for it. There's not enough research for you to know exactly what could be in it, what could be wrong with it.
Scientists now would refute that though, wouldn't they? People who are pro GMO, they would say the science is there to support it. I mean, the minister, what's the chap's name? Owen Patterson, the environmental minister, he said that it's safe and it's not harmful to humans.
Well, your main thing is that even now, fucking 50, 60 years after we've started using something, all of a sudden scientific fucking proof from 60 years ago is thrown out, and new scientific proof is thrown in saying, oh, it does do this, it does hurt you, it does do this. Blah, blah, blah.
You kind of notice that, don't you, that 30 years ago it was a discovery or a report published is advertised as the truth, and then 30 years later it gets completely and utterly dismissed.
It was scientifically proven about 500 years ago that the world was fucking flat. There you go, bam. Fucking, it's a lot of shit. Scientifically proven just means we haven't got the scientific knowledge to disprove it yet, basically.
I want to see labels on anything genetically modified.
Definitely, yeah.
Monsanto, who are the world leaders of genetically modified organisms, they've said that it would be too expensive to put a little sticker on packaging to say that this product has been genetically modified. They're saying it's just not, what's the word now, price effective to do that. I think they know as well as I do
that if you see a big fucking GM fucking label on it saying this was genetically modified, people are going to go, nah.
So it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Tesco in the UK have recently said that 99% of the world's corn and soy that they used to feed chickens and turkeys and poultry now have. They can't guarantee that there's absolutely no traces of GMO in it because it's just that fucking widely used from abroad where we buy grains from.
Yeah.
GMOs are now banned in 27 countries and are labelled in 61 countries. So 61 countries have already got labelling. America have said that they won't label. I would like to think that the United Kingdom would label, because I'm telling you right now, I will not buy. There's only one good thing that can come out of this, is that we all start eating healthier.
Well, yeah, the EU obviously currently already has more or less a EU-wide ban on genetically modified stuff anyway. But obviously they've been pushing recently for the last couple of months to relax them laws, to relax it, to allow more in, because they say that we'll fall behind in the global race.
Yeah,
on
that's
crops,
what that Owen chap said, didn't he? That we'll fall behind. What propaganda do you think they're going to use? Do you think? I mean, there's already there's already hundreds of thousands of families in the country right now. In 2013, it was starving. I'm having to go to food banks.
Well, we've got a food bank in Widnes, haven't we?
Have we were?
I don't have a clue where it is, but I know I've seen the Facebook page floating about for
Widnes has got a food bank.
I know a couple of shops downtown did a charity event to fund the food bank.
In 2013, there is a food bank in Widnes. That's the propaganda they're probably going to use to push through the GMOs.
Yeah.
I personally think that if they start planting GMO crops, they're going to get burnt. I mean, right now, I feel like I'm alone against Monsanto. There's 60 million people in the United Kingdom, and right now I feel like I'm the only person out there against them. And then when you stop and think about it, you got all the fucking hippies, haven't you? And all the I don't want to call them nature nuts, but all the people who are at one with nature, who are against animal testing, against that. I mean, they fucking blow up vets, don't they? They blow up people who are at one point they were fucking prolific at killing people in the industry of like pharmaceutical firms. I mean, they were targeting people at the laboratories, and they were targeting the bosses of the a perfume firm. They were targeting the bosses because they were sanctioning, they were authorising it to be tested on animals. So surely with GMO there will be a faction of not necessarily the animal possessors, but there will be a faction that develops that are going to be saying, do you know what? We do not want to give our family and our babies fucking genetically modified organisms when the science is out there right now to say that it's fucking bad for the rats. All right, it's a fucking rat. How close is a rat to humans? I mean,
I'm sure they use a lot of testing on rats because it's something like 92% of our DNA strain, something like that.
It's similar to rats.
It's something like that. I think there's
Are they mammals? The mammals, aren't they, rats?
Yeah. As far as I know that they're quite close. I know a lot of testing is done on rats. A lot, like.
So 92%.
It's something like that. I don't know the exact figure, but it's not far off. Not far off that.
92%, and they are having reactions that it's making them look. It's making them look horrific. It's making them look like monsters, right? My theory is I'm going to go with the paradigm of what's that Will Smith film where the whole world they found a cure for cancer, and the whole world,
you mean thingy, I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, yeah. There's a possibility that they're going to roll this out, and maybe for 5 years it'll be okay. 10 years, and then we'll start seeing the effects of it. There'll be there might be birth defects. People might develop cancer. I'm not trying to scare anybody out there, but the science at the moment is pointing to. The independent science at the moment is pointing towards that GMO is fundamentally bad. The government propaganda out there is pointing towards that this is going to be the saviour. Break it down. Just break it down for a second. Genetically modified food is food that has been tampered with by chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Chemicals. The word. There's no other word you can use to describe what is doing to genetically modified food. They are affecting it at a cellular level by either injecting chemicals or manipulating chemicals into the photosynthesis fucking stage, and when it's growing with the light at that very first fucking stage of its fucking birth, they're affecting it. I mean, look at the organic farmer. I mean, this is perfect. The organic farmer on the left of the screen. Look how happy he looks. The guy on the right of the screen is a GMO farmer. That there is called what's it called? Lasso.
Yeah, it says Lasso on the tin.
Yeah, there's actually been a French farmer who has recently took Monsanto to court because the lasso that he was using to grow his crops is actually carcinogenic. A French court on Monday declared US biotech giant Monsanto guilty of chemical poisoning of a French farmer. A judgment that could lead to a wealthy claim of to £100,000 initially for costs, leading up to £100 million for damages. In the first such case heard in court in France, Grain Powder says that neurobiology problems, including memory loss, headaches and stammering after inhaling Monsanto's lasso weed killer in 2004. So that lasso is a weed killer, which weed killer pesticide?
Well, yeah, basically, yeah.
So he's inhaled that. If you read further into the article, you can find it on Huffington Post. I'll put the link on the website, hopefully, when we get round to developing the website a little bit more.
It sounds like, to me, that they're coming up with little fucking excuses, like they don't want to use pesticides, don't want to use fertilizers, all that fucking bullshit, to try and push it forward. But at the end of the day, like you said, not only does nature find a way type of thing, but for fucking forever, people have had to come up with ways to fight insects or whatever to fucking stop them from eating fucking crops.
I was just about to say that exact same thing.
Can they 100% guarantee that right now that GMO crops are not going to have something in the future that's going to be able to eat them? are all the animals just going to die out because they've got no food? They're fucking not. They're going to adapt.
Nature finds a way, doesn't it?
They're going to fucking adapt. They're going to do something.
We have survived. Man has survived. How long's Homo sapiens been around? 500,000 years, or is it less than that? No, it's got to be less than
Homo
that.
sapiens, I'm pretty sure we're at about 60,000 years. Our current.
Okay, so 60,000 years ago, when Homo sapiens first appeared on the planet, started growing food and eating meat. Between now and then, we've managed to survive as a race, growing exponentially to a point where there's 7 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, I know power has got a massive part to play in that, maybe 99.9%, isn't it? Because we get from places quicker, we can get food to us quicker, but take power out of it. What's the next most important thing? Food and water, isn't it? We've always managed to feed ourselves, to get to a point where we can sustain a population.
Yeah,
like I said earlier in the show, fucking moth is just
fucking hell. We've just been attacked by a dragon. It's fucking massive.
Get it, Declan. Get it.
For fuck's sake.
It'll just fly around the light. There's enough food on the planet now to supply the whole world. The problem is, where the resources are going, you're going to pull off the fucking mixer. The problem is where the resources are going at the moment. I don't know why that we're not doing more in the developing world to help these countries grow crops. What do you think's behind it? Why are we not doing more to grow crops in these countries? Is it the environment?
I couldn't even come up with a fucking answer for that, because you've got that much fucking land in Africa straight away. Look at Africa.
I know.
How big is Africa? And it can't be that hard to irrigate it. It cannot be that hard at all.
Populated wise as well.
I know. There's you look at fucking light maps of it, and there's parts of Africa that just don't have any fucking anything in it for like 1,000 miles.
So what they should do? They should move the whole of the world into the desert, right? We should build cities in a desert, right? And all the fertile land, anywhere where there's soil and all that, we just use that for farming. We can fit the population of the world right now, 7 billion of us in Texas. All right, it'll be cosy, but even though they say the world is shrinking, there is a vastly unpopulated area. What's it? 2/3 of the world's population is in Asia.
Yeah,
2/3 of the world's population. So in the whole of the Asian continent, when I'm talking Asia, I'm talking about Oriental Asia, I'm talking about Middle Eastern Asia. You're talking 2/3. What's 2/3?
Australasia.
Yeah, 2/3 of 7 million. What's that? That's 3.2 billion people, something like that.
That is
2/3.
That's just under 2.3, something like that.
Billion people in that area. I mean, and even then, there's still plenty of room. I think about it. The population of the world can fit into Texas. Look at all that land. Why are we fucking about? There they got it. Just trying to attack a fucking moth. Here's me talking about genetically modified organisms and then nearly murdering a moth.
Yeah, we're trying to kill them.
Catching like Mr. Oh, the moth's down. The moth is down. Now we've got a daddy long legs. The moth is fucking man down, man down.
Fuck it. We can't even close the fucking window because it's fucking that hot in here. So,
what's the real reason behind GMO?
Well, what's the real reason behind any advancements? Money. Always is.
It's cheaper.
Some company out there owned by some rich people has come up with this idea of making money, and they will make money this way. But obviously they've gone a bit further than that. But the answer to world food shortage is not fucking genetically modified food. We're not advanced enough for that. We're just not.
Will we ever get to a point though where it'll be acceptable to manipulate chemicals into something? Not unless they say we found a natural resource spring that's full of minerals, and when we water plants. Here's an example for you, right? My wife's Mrs. Burrows' uncle. Do you know one of the family members who is an uncle, but they get called an uncle, right? Lives down in Norwich. He doesn't do this anymore, but 20 years ago he used to be an avid gardener. Do you know what I mean? He really was really well looking into his gardening. Now he managed to grow fucking carrots, and I kid you not, that were a foot long, right, and 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
Never went near a chemical other than pigeon shit.
Yeah.
He kept pigeons, and what he used to do is he used to get all of the pigeon shit, right, put it in tights, and then put the pigeon shit in in barrels of water and just leave it for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And all the I'm not going to use the word chemicals, and all the nutrients that were in the pigeon shit sank into the water, right?
Yeah.
And he then used that water to water his plants, and you want to see the state of the veggies that came out of it.
Yeah.
They were stunning. From what I'm told, I've obviously never tasted it. I mean, in the back of your mind, you're thinking it's pigeon shit, it's pigeon shit, it's pigeon shit. But the best fertilizers in the world is shit.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Because look at, you got horse shit, camel shit's supposed to be like fucking gold, elephant shit's supposed to be brilliant, chicken shit is supposed to be fantastic, pigeon shit probably the lowest fucking type of what's it called now, fertilizer you can get to bring on plants and food is at the bottom, and it's getting fucking carrot. I mean, I can't even fucking. It was like this fucking big, and I've seen pictures of him, and like that fucking wide.
Yeah.
So it's not even technology. The biology is out there at the moment now.
Well, yeah,
to do that.
You've got that many different types of, that many forms of making a plant grow type of thing. We don't need the fucking genetically modified shit. We don't.
Agree.
We do not need it. Not only that, like I said, to me, we are just not advanced enough to make those types of decisions at all. That's like fucking next generation shit. That's like fucking. Let's fucking figure out some other problems first. Yeah. We've got we've got other shit to fucking fry.
Yeah.
Not just economical, other fucking shit.
Not unless they find a spring of water that is already naturally fucking okay, where they can fucking dip a bucket in it and fucking already spread it onto the fucking food out there at the moment. Anything that says the word chemicals have been used to manipulate food, we do not want to buy it. Here's Monsanto. We know what you're trying to do. The theory, the conspiracy out there at the moment is that it's population control as well. They think there's too many of us on the planet. They know this shit is bad. They know they can make a lot of money from it because it'll be cheap for them to produce, and they're going to probably sell it for 90% of the price of what the market stuff out there. Because there's people out there who are struggling, isn't they?
Yeah.
And when they're selling chickens now at £5 a chicken, I know that doesn't
£4. I've had ones for £4.
Yeah, but what size is that?
1.5 kilograms. Bought one today.
But what's that class as, medium or large or?
Wasn't specified on it.
Was it not? Right, well, you used to be able to buy a medium chicken for £3. Sorry, a large chicken for £3.50. I'm talking within the last 10 years. All right, I know inflation. But now, a large size, like fucking cooped up chicken is £5 now in the United Kingdom, right? If they bring in a chicken that is categorised as being fed on genetically modified corn or soy or maize or something like that, and they sell it at, say, £4.20, there's going to be families out there who are going to buy it because it's just fucking cheaper. I'm telling you right now, if the UK goes towards GMO, my diet will get better because I will only buy the free-range chickens. I know I should be buying that now, but at the moment, the chickens that I'm buying are being fed natural fucking ingredients. As far as I'm aware, there's a good possibility that the food chain is already fucking infested with genetically modified organisms already, and it's only now that the supermarkets are saying, well, hang on a second, we can't actually guarantee that we can put a stamp on this to say GMO free.
But we all seen the fucking horse meat thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was a great one.
How can that happen?
How did that happen?
How can that? Just explain to our viewers what happened.
All the statistics and paperwork and all the paper trails and everything. It basically came down to a couple of different things. You had abattoirs over here, which were not issuing the proper passports, for the animal movements.
Yeah.
Let's say a horse comes into the abattoir, it's supposed to be getting put down, chopped up and fucked off, and put into whatever food chain it is that it goes into, because there is people out there who eat horse. But somehow it was literally getting chopped up, bam bam, and going into the bovine strain. Off it went into the fucking beef burgers. But obviously there was other places like Poland, Romania, I think there was
Bulgaria,
possibly Czech Republic as well, and stuff like that. They have abattoirs specifically that make horse meat, and they make horse meat.
So it's legal in their countries, horse meat?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Well, it is technically legal over here, technically.
To buy horse meat?
Not to buy horse meat, but
to eat horse meat?
There's abattoirs over here that make food from horse meat. They just can't sell it over here.
All right,
they can do it, they can't sell it here, though.
I didn't think there was that many fucking horses.
But But the main thing behind it was that somehow fucking, from whatever fuck ups, it fucking ended up in our fucking food chain, you know. And that was like literally, when it all broke out, everybody looked at it and it was fucking fucked. The whole fucking system from beginning to fucking end was just corrupt. I don't even mean corrupt, it was just wasn't strict at all.
It was just cheaper for these countries, wasn't it, to import, to sell to...
Horse meat's cheap as fuck.
We were paying bovine prices.
Yes, for horse shit.
For horse shit. What will happen to him? Will anything happen to him? I mean,
no.
It's fallen out the news now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's well gone now.
So would they get prosecuted?
I don't even think anybody got arrested, did they?
I know they were hunting one guy who was living in like a $600,000 euro dollar house. Yeah. That's how easy it is to get fucking something that's legal into the food chain, because the public, because there's not many laboratories at the moment out there that are state funded. A lot of them are privately funded, and they can't test everything all the fucking time. So the way they're going to get round it is is GMO illegal in the UK? It is illegal in the UK, isn't it?
It's illegal in the EU, not just the UK. It's illegal across the EU, except there is 2 strands.
I tell you right now where there's fucking genetically modified crops. I think I've got it on one of my little bullet points right here.
Well, I know there's 2 different strains of GM in the EU that they do use, but it's not popularly used.
Spain grows genetically modified maize. Portugal, genetically modified maize. Romania, genetically modified maize. Poland, genetically modified maize. Slovakia, genetically modified maize. USA, 64 million hectares of land is used to grow genetically modified soybean, maize, cotton. What's that? Canola, squash, papaya. What's that?
Alfalfa
And sugar beet. Alright, cotton. Genetically modified cotton.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about cotton. We're not fucking eating it.
Exactly, yeah. Do you know what? You can genetically modify cotton and silk until your arse drops out your fucking anus. Or your anus drops out your arse. Do you know what, mate? If you want to make clothes of genetically modified organisms, you fucking go away and fill your boots, right? Because I tell you right now, Prime Arnie, I don't give a fuck. The clothes are cheap and I'm going to wear them. If it's genetically modified or not, I don't give a fuck, but I'm not going to eat it.
Or if it's made in a sweatshop.
Oh yeah, right. And tell you what, those kids do a great job. I mean, look at the finish on this t-shirt. It's fucking fantastic. I mean, it's scandalous. 64. Just think about that for a second. 64 million hectares of land is already out there in the United States alone that uses genetically modified organisms.
That's 4 years ago as well.
It's 4 years ago.
That's 4 years old. That chart. I wonder how much it is now.
What's the date on that? 2009. You're absolutely fucking right. It's absolutely fucking terrifying that something out there like injecting chemicals into fucking food is that widely fucking popular. What do you reckon the loss would be on 64 million hectares of land if they grew natural ingredients? Is there not enough natural fucking ingredients out there to sustain a crop like that? It's bullshit.
Well, think about it. 64 million hectares of land compared to of GMO. Yeah. Compared to 64 million hectares of land of organic stuff, even if it was used, even if fertilizer was used or whatever, but really the fucking difference is minimal, unless they're growing fucking trees of fucking wheat, which I doubt they are. You know,
I mean, do you reckon there'd be genetically modified weed? See, the good thing about marijuana at the moment is that it doesn't take long to grow and it doesn't take a lot of effort. There's no reason out there at the moment
it's like why 6 weeks from seed to fucking
to bud.
Spliff.
Yeah, it really is. All right, there is a lot of what's the word now? Hybrids.
Green smacks.
Yeah, there is a lot of hybrids weeds out there. I don't know whether it's chemicals that are involved in that or whether it's in the pollination process where they get it. Where they split it, but they're looking for ways to produce things cheaply and accelerate it into the market to make a profit, and that's all what they care about at the end of the fucking day, and it's absolutely fucking scandalous. Where was it recently? There was fucking hell. There was a place in Europe, I think it was, where Monsanto had 500 hectares of land of genetically modified, I think it was rice, and I think it was turkey, and the locals burnt every fucking crop out there
Yeah.
that was genetically modified. That is sending a message. I can't understand why Monsanto is still fucking pushing forward in it. The force behind them, it literally is the 99% against Monsanto.
Yeah.
99% of the fucking world do not want genetically modified fucking foods in the food chain. We do not want it. Listen to us.
Well,
as you can tell, I'm a little bit passionate about this subject.
a little bit. Yeah. Well, like the bog standard thing for me is that, like, ignoring all the research, I'm not even that fucking clued up on or anything. But to me, I just do not think that we are scientifically intelligent enough
ready
to do it. Actually, yeah, we're just not ready at all. You know, we can't even fucking travel to fucking Mars yet. You know.
We can. It's just the money's not there for
well,
it.
yeah, that's a fair point. So yeah, we can travel to Mars. They just can't be arsed yet.
They've probably already done it.
Yeah,
They probably have already done it. I mean, we will never know. I mean, they keep on saying that this is a democracy, but it seems to be more and more that they're trying to feed us with disinformation through the mainstream media. The media tells you what they want you to fucking know. At the moment, Brazil is rioting, and how many hundreds of thousands were out in Brazil at the
well, no one knows an exact figure, but a lot.
We've seen the figures. We've seen the pictures.
Yeah,
We've seen the pictures. The Times did a good report. You were telling me that the Times did a good report that the protesters on the streets were into the 100,000s, but a lot of the mainstream media reported that it was only fucking
500 to 1,000
people. So when it originally started the protests,
was it some kind of fucking tax rise or some rise?
6 pence increase. This is how it originally started. There was a 6 pence increase in bus fares, right? That's how it originally started.
That
was sorry.
It's the same as the Turkish riots the week. Did you see that one?
What was that?
They were all rioting about them. They wanted to knock down a couple of trees to build a mall in some shithole place in Turkey.
What's a couple of trees?
Well, it was a good acre of fucking stuff. You know.
You made it sound like it was 2 trees.
No, but it was. I can't remember what it was. It was a nice neighbourhood, and they had a load of fucking trees and bushes and flowers and shit. And they wanted to knock it down to build some fucking mall or something. Some of the locals protested, type of thing. Someone fired a tear gas canister, hit some fella in the head, and he ended up in a coma. Next thing you know, it's fucking hundreds of thousands of people in the street. You know. Fucking compared to over here, when the only people who fucking do stuff like that are unemployed, because we all look at it and think, I can't be arsed.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You see, I keep on judging the rest of the world on probably my own personal feeling about protesting against something.
We're the biggest knobheads there are, because we're all restricted. We're all restricted by the fact that we've got jobs and we're too scared to lose our whatever, you know.
But we have got holidays, haven't we? So we could... Let's say we use some annual leave to go on one of these marches, right?
Yeah.
People are out there protesting. Thankfully now, Twitter and Facebook do report en masse, don't they? That there's massive protests out there. A lot of it does. When there was a march against Monsanto, I think there was in April sometime, 2 million people.
Another one that wasn't reported at all.
2 million people in 54 countries around the world marched against Monsanto. When in London, the streets were filled with, again, tens of thousands of people all wearing the V for Vendetta masks.
Yeah.
It never made it to the mainstream
media. It wasn't.
It
literally, I didn't even know about it until you told me about it.
Yeah. I think the mainstream media was reporting on the fucking pregnancy of Princess Catherine.
Well, look at it. This fucking week, you had all the Brazilian protests the last 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And all I've heard about is fucking Nigella Lawson and fucking stupid head Saatchi, whatever his name is. Fucking, you know, I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, it looked a little bit dodgy, whatever the hell it was that he'd done. You know, fucking, what was it? He put his fucking arm around her neck or something, and she was crying. You know, she was crying. Fuck, I don't give a shit. Fuck off. Put something proper on the news.
I mean, that was front pages on the Red Tops as well, wasn't it?
It was.
It was front pages on the Red Tops for like 3 or 4 days. And in the meantime, Brazil are out fucking rioting, right? The reasons what I led to believe Brazil, right? Originally there was a 6 pence increase in bus fares, and that brought out the students, right? They were fucked off with that, purely for the fact that was a 6 pence increase in bus fare. The reason why they put 6 pence increase on bus fare is they've got the World Cup in 2000 and what was it, 14?
Yeah, it'll be 14.
Yeah, 2014 over the. Oh, was it the Olympics? No, it's the World Cup, isn't it? Yeah, the World
Definitely
Cup.
The World Cup. It's not the Olympics.
Yeah, in 2014. And it was advertised, it was sold to the Brazilian people that the private corporations, the amount of money that the private corporations are going to bring into the country will pay for the development of the new arenas and the transport network, because apparently the transport network is absolutely fucking scandalous in Brazil. Fucking hell, scared the utter shit out of me, that. A door just opened and I just pooed, right. So, they needed to invest in the infrastructure, and what's happened is that the private companies, for example, like you know, like Coca-Cola, like fucking invest massively in advertising sponsors. Heineken, all the beers do. Food does. McDonald's is like a massive fucking insurance companies, banks. They all advertised on the World Cup because it's literally got a global stage, hasn't it? So they will play the Brazilian whoever to get their brand on screen and push it forward. There was a shortfall in that.
Yeah.
And the only way they could fill the shortfall, obviously, was by raising taxes. So it started off with bus fares, then they raised other taxes. So people took to the fucking streets because it's not on. The people are not fucking stupid. I got a little bit fucking... Personally, I got a little bit set in my ways. I thought that... in this, our generation were weak. I thought our generation now just don't give a fuck. Maybe in the UK. The London riots was, what, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, well, that was pretty... stupid, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, that was over a stupid thing. It was over a stupid thing. It was officially. What's the official stance that a black guy got shot, wasn't it? Yeah, a black guy got shot.
It was that fucking. Well, officially, you know, I don't. Later on, they did all the inquests and everything into it, didn't they? You know, 6 months later or whatever, and found that he didn't have a gun on him. But the whole thing was that they had intelligence that whoever it was carried a gun, which he was arrested previous firearms offences and drug offences and all sorts of other shit. And they were supposed to be arresting him for breaching bail or something. Right. And so they had a tip off that he was fucking going to be alarmed. So they brought the armed police in. Fucking whatever happened, he fucking jumped out the taxi. You know. Right. They basically panicked. They thought they saw a firearm, so they shot him. You know. Yeah. And ourselves in such a situation, you're just going to shoot first, aren't you? As soon as you think you see a firearm, or somebody says down the radio, firearm,
or maybe they just wanted him off the street. Maybe it was just a fucking burden to the police.
Possibly, you just don't fucking know. Like, but obviously, it was a bit stupid, that whole thing. It was pathetic. The rioters. So
Tottenham took to the streets, which I understand because he was a local lad, and the area that he got shot, his community took to the streets and marched down to the local police station. Then the surrounding boroughs marched to the local fucking police station and took to the streets, and then every opportunist in the UK then took to the streets, not because that they were outraged about a black guy getting shot. They were using that as a fucking umbrella to go out there and basically fuck shit up, because the country was not... The government had closed down all the fucking community... Well, a lot of community centres, made massive cutbacks, and people were fucked off. They were seeing people in fucking Tottenham and thinking, do you know what, I'm going to have a bit of that. I'm going to go out and I'm fed up with this government.
I'm going to rob a telly.
And then it did just get stupid. They did start setting fire to everywhere, man.
When they did the Arndale Centre in Manchester, which isn't far from us, I remember that. I remember the fucking woman... one of the reporters it was a BBC reporter interviewing these 3 or 4 fellas in balaclavas and bandanas, proper fucking scallies, you know, like proper shitheads. Fucking that's like white trash. Americans don't know what scally means. And they were fucking all like, yeah, riot. And she kept asking him every time, what was the man's name in London who got shot? And none of them could fucking answer it.
Yeah, so they had their own agenda.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for fucking protesting for whatever cause it is. You know, you go out on a peaceful protest and everything, but the fucking first thing that happens is you go out
protest.
You go out on a fucking protest. First thing that fucking happens is all your anarchists, your fighters, your people who want to fuck shit up, join in, and that's it. You protest for it.
Yeah,
your cause have gone out the window.
Exactly. I couldn't have put it better myself. They have their own agenda, don't they, to go out there and make a protest.
Very much so.
They see a protest out there and they can very easily take the attention off it, can't they? The anarchists, I think I'm an anarchist. I think I'm an armchair anarchist. In my head, if they start growing genetically modified organisms in the local area, in my head I'll be I'm going to go burn those all down. In my ass, I will be going, no, you're fucking not, Ben. I tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go and put another episode of the unit on, and you're going to get cock-handed, and every time fucking Kim comes on the screen, you're going to knock 2 out.
Well, I did think that I was so happy that when we had the Woolwich thing last month, I was fucking proud that
Woolwich.
not many people touched the fucking streets for that. The Woolwich murder of the soldier.
Oh, right. Yeah, we handled it well, didn't we?
I was fucking so proud that people didn't
mate.
go out and fucking fuck so much
Mate,
shit
touch
up.
me. Don't leave me hanging there, mate. Fucking touch me. I was proud as well.
Because I proper thought, I remember sitting down and thinking to myself, we were on nights that night, if you remember.
Oh.
I remember thinking to myself, overnight now, I'm going to watch the news all night and I'm just going to watch it kick off.
It's
And
simmering
fuck
all
all
day.
happened. Oh yeah, it's simmering.
It's
good
simmering.
stuff. But
Because wasn't a police officer been stabbed in the mosque? There's been like stabbings and all that shit in mosques and all that.
yeah, but
Mosques have been burnt down and all that.
you have had a couple of things, but you've not had a major riot, if you know what I mean. They're all like little fucking dickheads doing something.
Do you think the Asian... Oh, sorry, that's wrong, that. Do you think the Muslim community and the Islam community... what does fucking Wayne call them? The Islamists? What they call them?
Muslimists, you call them.
The Muslimists fucking... Do you think they're worried? Do you think they think to themselves, do you know what, if we don't start treading carefully now, we could cause a big fucking problem to ourselves here?
I think they're worried to a certain point, but a lot of them are very well integrated into communities in some parts.
It's like anything, though, it's a few spoil it for the many, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always the same.
The needs of the few in their eyes outweigh the needs of the many, and it's not like that. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
I was proud that not much happened, if you know what I mean.
See, because I think I'm institutionalised. I think the system has got to me that I think I've been broke that, or people just don't care anymore. It's not the same. But deep down, no matter how comfortable we are and how much TV they try and play us, like keeping us in our houses just watching TV or playing computer games and all that. I mean, I'm quite I think I've said this to you before. I'm very happy in my own company.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? With the technology and me computer games and all that shit, I'm more than happy to on certain television shows, not reality TVs, but like a good fucking military thriller or dramas or like that, like The Unit, which you just recently put me onto. I'm more than happy to let day turn into night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I've tarnished everybody in the UK with that brush that everybody wants to stay in, but it's not the fucking British people. No, we're exactly the same as what we probably were 60, 70, 80, 90 years ago. When something goes down, we will go out and we will show our support because it's in our fucking nature as a British person to do that. It's a big part of being British, isn't it?
Well, we had the bigger thingy, didn't we? Last week we had the Mercy and Cheshire Regiment came back, didn't they? And they had a big march to Widnes. Did you see all the people who went to that?
Widnes?
In Widnes, the Mercian Regiment came back, the Cheshire Regiment.
Right.
From Afghanistan.
Right.
And they marched through Widnes. They did a big charity event. They marched through Widnes.
How the fuck did I not know about this?
And I went down, I was on nights, but I went down 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
And fucking, there was hundreds of people
Was
out
they?
fucking clapping the whole entire way through Widnes. Started at Asda and ended up Albert Square.
Makes you proud, doesn't it?
And it does. But like you said,
Gives you faith.
Like you said, the vast majority of the time we're quite fucking happy to just sit in our houses with our cock in our hands, fucking not doing anything. But when something inspires us, we go and do it, don't we?
Do you reckon it's just part of our humanity? We're compassionate as a race? Because we're not. The human race is scientific, is biologically not designed to live in communities like this. We're designed to live in tribes, of 30 or 40 people.
Yeah, I know.
Do you think it's just how we're bred now to integrate into a bigger clan to go and show our support?
I don't think so. I think the only reason
it's because it's the right thing to do.
Not necessarily because it's the right thing to do, but I think if we seen a massive benefit for us to go back down that route, we would, if you know what I mean. But
it would take a massive catalyst for that to happen, though. Wouldn't
it? Yeah, definitely. But
if the lights go out,
I think people generally don't care enough about that.
If the lights go out,
yeah,
that's when we'll start every man for themselves.
When the lights go out, yeah, that'll be a different thing.
I was reading an article in the Red Top, I think it was the Daily Mirror. They said less than 7% of us, of the population, would survive a pandemic or an epidemic. Do you know, if there's a virus and there's only 900,000, it's a massive virus. People who don't die in the virus will die of starvation.
I'd be fucking capitalising on that fucking bastard. Thank you very much.
How?
Fucking take everything over.
Yeah, but you need to be able to survive.
Well, that would be a plus. It would be a plus, wouldn't it?
They reckon out of the 60 million people that populate the United Kingdom of Northern Ireland and Great Britain, 900,000 people have the skills to survive. So each one of those has got to be a clan leader. I mean, I'm trying to get as self-sufficient as possible. Right now in my garden, I am growing potatoes. Which is the easiest thing in the world to do. They are third-generation potatoes, so this is my third crop of seed potatoes that I planted in 2010. I'm growing strawberries. I've got a pear, apple and plum tree. The pear, apple and plum tree won't actually produce any fruit for about another 2 years, but they've been in 2 years at the moment and they're doing well. But what I want to do though is I want to start growing more more veg. Biggest problem is protein, isn't it? And is meat. I would like to keep chickens in my garden as well. Kelly, what's her name? Is it Kelly Gillespie on Twitter?
Oh yeah,
yeah. She's got her own chickens and her own plot. She does an awful lot, and it's inspiring. I'd love to be able to do that. Are we restricted in any way by getting chickens or anything like that now? I don't think we are we? I think the only biggest problem will be
you can buy chickens from the Rivendell Garden Centre. They've got them for sale.
They got chickens for sale
in the garden centre, yeah.
So,
as in chickens that you
cocks and hens
that you fatten up and kill.
Yeah, can you breed them? The only problem that it could possibly bring is antisocial behaviour, isn't it? Do you know, like your cock crowing at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
The neighbours aren't going to be happy about that and probably put in noise complaints. That's the only setback.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to become self-sufficient. I mean, everything that I've got in my garden now needs no maintenance. I pick it, I cut it, it grows back next year.
Yeah.
I pick it, I cut it, it grows back next year. Apart from picking it and cutting it, the only other thing to do is water it if you get 2 days without fucking any rain. That is it. I suppose all fucking veggies like that, apart from... I want something that keeps on reflowering every year. Carrots don't do that. You got to plant that shit. Fucking certain veggies. I've tried. I planted 500 carrot seeds.
500 carrot
seeds.
That would not fit in your garden at all.
5 years ago. This is how I did it. Right. You're supposed to plant them down 6 inches. 6 inches apart, so they're 6 inches down, 6 inches apart from the next seed.
So it'd cover fucking about half the northwest of England.
Yeah. So basically, what I did is I just fucking got the packet and just went like that all over my garden. I didn't get one carrot. Didn't get one fucking carrot. I don't think they went down an inch. So then I tried growing parsnips, turnips, Swedes. They all flowered, but they were taking too long, so I just fucking dug them up.
Yeah.
It's something that I would like to fucking try and do, though. Would you be actually? You got a great plot of land to do that. Would you not try and do something like that?
I want to, but I need to do the garden first, don't I? The garden's a shithole. It looks a bit less cracked in, at the moment. I've managed to move most of the junk to the side now. It's all ready to go to the tip, which you're helping me with.
Yeah, I will. I will.
And then I've got to do the actual garden then.
Just switching the Go Forth and Amplify podcast. Let's hit item number 2, the Bilderberg meeting on the 9th to the from the 6th to the 9th of June 2013. The now not so secret organisation that is known as the Bilderberg Group met in Watford, England for their annual meeting to discuss world affairs. The gathering that has been shrouded in secrecy since its first meeting back in May 1954 was attended by the world and corporate leaders, which included the list is literally extra fucking dense. You look at all those ridiculous people. You had the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister from Sweden. You had the Swedish Finance Minister. You had the Chairman of the Supervisory Board of the Dutch Bank. You had the former Barclays Chairman. You had General what's his name, Proteus. He was there as well. He's on this. Yeah, General Proteus. He was there as well. Directors from banks, CEOs from banks, CEOs from internet giants. You had ministers of
what the fuck was Petraeus doing there?
I don't know.
Was he have to pussy or something?
I don't know. Yeah, our Prime Minister and Chancellor and Shadow Chancellor were all there. They had CEOs from the Royal Dutch Shell were there. The co-chairman Council for Foreign Relations was there. This is an organisation that is branded as a simple discussion with other world leaders that where no decisions are ever made.
But you can't tell anybody what you said.
Exactly. As there are never any minutes taken, this is something that a programmed global citizen is expected to believe. In my opinion, you don't bring together all of the world's current and former decision makers just to have a chat. That would purely be naive.
Yeah.
So is this the shadow world government then?
Fuck knows what it is.
Do you not know much about Bilderberg?
I've read certain things on it, but
What do you know?
They obviously have their meetings every year, don't they?
Why?
They have a preference that no one can discuss what you discussed there.
There's no minutes taken.
No minutes taken. And this year they were unhappy about the fact that they were so publicised and the news agencies actually had to report on it because that many people turned up.
What do you mean that many people? What, citizens?
Well, that many people turned up to the 2 protests at what was it? Winsford? Watford?
Yeah, Winsford, Hertfordshire.
I remember, and the
So
news
that passes that over can, mate, and get it.
The news actually had to report on it. I think that was more peer pressure than anything.
I think Twitter and Facebook played a massive part in that one in the United Kingdom. But again, no, mate, there wasn't any fucking trouble, was there? Not really. We're conducting ourselves well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Maybe because a lot of kids think Bilderberg. What is Bilderberg? They probably hear it. Probably never even heard of it before and couldn't give less of a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always pinged it on my radar, and it's only really within the last 12 months that I've sort of been paying attention to it. Alex Jones, he fucking hell, he covers it every year, and I watched a couple of his.
He was there at Winsford.
Yeah, he flew in. Yeah, I was watching a couple of his videos from previous years and the run up to this one in May, and it turned my head because the things he was saying, it wasn't brainwashing me, but the things he was saying, like, why would you get all of the current? I said it about 5 minutes ago. Why would you get all the current world leaders together and former decision makers together if they were just having a chat?
Yeah,
that just doesn't make sense. What agenda? What is their agenda? Are they trying to manipulate world markets? Did they bring on the banking collapse? Do you think? What's your honest opinion? Do you think they would do that? Do you think they would do that to everybody in the fucking world?
I think whatever the Bilderberg thing is, I think generally, it's obviously a big organisation. It's obviously powerful. Or obviously has fingers everywhere anyway, fingers in every pie. Whether or not banking collapse, I don't know.
Do you not think they would manipulate something like that? Why would they lending people money? Why would the banks lending people left, right and centre? I mean, I've said to you before.
In my opinion, I think everybody at the time was a knobhead. That's genuine, because everybody seemed to be living in cloud cuckoo land. We will not have a recession. And everybody said the same fucking thing just before a recession. For the last 100 years.
Yeah.
We won't have a recession. Wall Street will be fine. It won't crash.
See, when you take a step back now, I mean, in 2002, I noticed this. We weren't long out of the last recession. I think 1999 was officially when the UK was officially making good progress. We were making like 3% growth from 1990 to 1999. Unemployment was less than 1 million. It was absolutely outstanding. All these people are in work. The banks think to themselves, oh fucking hell, all these people might start saving up. And put money away. Let's make loans more readily available, so they can be saddled with debt for 5 years. So it won't give all these people money. Because what comes with money? Power.
Yeah.
All right, it's not a lot of power, but when people start putting away, let's say, how much is a loan now? Let's say you get a 10 grand loan. How much is that going to cost you a month at current rates? It's going to cost you about
190.
Yeah, which is 10 years ago when I got a loan for. 7.5 grand. My repayments were 170, so now it's not too bad.
Well, at the moment the interest rates are dead low, aren't they, at the moment?
So you're going to be saddled with £200 a month out of your wages for 5 years. Imagine if they were putting that money away. Are they scared of that?
Possibly, but
don't they want people to have savings?
I know, but you think about it, if said person saved that money, the bank still got it. The bank still get to piss about with it and spend it and bet it or whatever the hell it is that they do with it.
Yeah, and lose
shove it up their asses.
Yeah. Imagine if everybody had savings.
I couldn't imagine that.
What would that mean for the economy if everybody was was vigilant, and I tell you now, I would never get another loan. I would never, ever get another loan. The biggest thing I ever did was get a fucking loan. The worst thing I ever did was get a loan when I moved into that house.
Yeah.
I used all my money for the 5% deposit and to do it up. And a bit like yourself, I had the shortfall. And at the time, I was paying off to £220 a month for my car. Not for my car, £220 a month for my wedding.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get all my debts down, so I took out a loan, and it was £175 a week. I should never have done that. Now, 5 years later, I'm just coming to the end of that. I'm coming to the end of that loan, so I'll have that back in my wages.
Yeah.
Luckily, I will not fit the criteria to get another loan because of all the bars are moved. But I'm somebody who by right should be able to get a loan because I've got a lot of expendable money.
Well, think about it right now. All the let's say you go down our route, our treasury department and all that shit. They have currently predicted right now, that we're gonna grow so much next year, so much money.
They're never right though, are they?
Yeah, obviously, right. But that's based on everybody earning all this money and spending the same way they did last year, or similar way or whatever. If people saved, it's not in GDP. It's going out of GDP. It's gone. It would not contribute to the economy. If you saved £1,000 right now over the next year, that £1,000 is not contributing to the economy in any way because it's there in the bank. Even though the bank will benefit slightly because they will have extra capital, but that will be minimal.
It'll be taken off the bottom line.
Basically. And then you go down the whole other route then of what if you have a certain amount of money and you move to another bank account somewhere else, and that's where that's why they want to crack down on tax avoiding, because the estimate is that about 15, maybe 18 billion pound a year just leaves England. Just leaves. It just goes.
It's a lot of money, but
when you consider that,
what is our GDP?
What you mean is in our full economy GDP? I think it's 2.8 trillion dollars, something like that. I think
so 18 billion. It's a lot of money. It sounds a lot of money, but when you're talking 2.2 trillion, it's fucking. It's what 1.8%, something like that. No, it's not even that, is it? It's 0.8%.
Yeah, something like that. But that's just that we know of.
Yeah.
That's not including the tax avoidance. Yeah. That's literally just money that is legally.
What's that status called? Where you don't non-doms? What's a non-dom?
Non-dom is where you work in England but you live outside of England, even though you're a British citizen. But you have, let's say, a house in the Isle of Man. Okay. I'm pretty sure Isle of Man. People who live in the Isle of Man are non-doms.
Yep.
If you have a big house out over there, but you work in England, but your tax system and all that shit, if you choose it, can go through your own accountant. You don't have to go through your pay system. Do
you need to spend a certain amount of time in the other country to do that? Or do you just need to be having a registered address in that country?
There is a certain amount of time you're supposed to spend, but for non-doms, I think because they work and live, they work in England and live there, I think it gets a bit funny.
How does that work then? Because for you to work somewhere and live there, surely you should be commuting to the place where you're living and the place where you're working. If you're living in the Isle of Man and you're working in Essex for 6 months of the year.
What a lot of non-doms have is they have a second house close to work and they use that house and then go back to the other house a certain amount of time. Clarkson does that. Clarkson lives...
Jeremy Clarkson?
Yes. Jeremy Clarkson.
So he's non-dom status?
He lives in... Where is it? It's somewhere... It's not far from here. I can't remember where it is.
It's not illegal, is it?
No. Not at all.
So how are they going to clamp down on something? Are they going to change the law?
I think non-doms is the bottom of their list of priorities. I think the top one at the moment is corporations and people avoiding tax. Not just non-dom avoiding, as in avoiding.
Is it illegal what they're doing, avoiding tax?
No, legal. Completely legal.
So are they going to change the laws?
Yes. Well, they're going to try.
So what they're going to do, then they're going to put a percentage on what you earn. But isn't that already out there at the minute?
Yeah,
don't you need to pay 23% and it's going to drop to 20% or something like that of corporation
That's corporation tax, that though.
So
that's when you own your own company.
So isn't that what they're avoiding, corporation tax? Because Vodafone haven't paid any corporation tax again this year when they made 3.2 billion.
Well, yeah. The corporation tax thing, that's... a lot of them use... I think we've already discussed the tax thing before, haven't we? But I'll just say it again anyway. They have a lot of stuff like a very complicated system where, let's say you are Vodafone Corporation, right? and your company is based in Luxembourg. That's a good example.
Yeah.
And I am Vodafone UK, and I have all customers of the UK paying me the money and all my stuff for staff and everything. Then all my profit, let's say my profit's £1 billion, something like that. Obviously, that's far too much.
It does sound quite high.
You know, let's say my profit's £1 billion, whatever. But you decide that year, because you're the top company and I'm the second company, you're going to charge me £600 million.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying this. Yeah.
So I have to then pay you £600 million for the right to use the Vodafone name or the Vodafone phones or something like that. So that £600 million goes to you tax free.
Okay.
So then you make £600 million £600 million. Is that? I think that's close enough, isn't it?
Well, that's it.
You make £600 million profit tax free. Don't have to pay any taxes. I make £400 million profit that year, which I do have to pay taxes on. All you have to do is make sure you have more royalties than taxable profit, which is
so
what
you can rent properties off yourself.
IKEA does it. IKEA does it heavily. Amazon does it. Microsoft does it. Apple does it. They all do it.
Right.
They all have a mother company that charges all the other companies
Motherfucker.
a rent charge, basically. IKEA, all that furniture that they sell.
How is that legal? How is that legal?
All of IKEA's furniture in this country right now, every bit of it, is rented from the main IKEA company in fucking Holland. So the UK company here is renting the right to sell that furniture off the company in Holland, which is then renting that right off the one in Sweden.
Because they would be making a loss, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They just say, well, we're going to sell this cabinet for £70.
Well, what do you know?
And the rent is going to be £10 a week, and it's there for fucking 9 weeks, so they're making a £20 loss. Motherfuckers!
Starbucks is one of the best examples of it, right? The last 8 years, right, they've made, I can't even remember what the turnover was, it was billions in this country. They've made billions a year in turnover. Profit, they've made no profit. On paper, they've not made any profit officially.
Because they were using that system.
It's a different system for them.
They were renting the shops, weren't they?
I can't remember.
They were renting the shops. I can remember it being
It's a similar thing. But so basically, they were making no profit at all, right? But their main Starbucks company in America was selling shares for the UK branch, saying it's profitable.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very profitable, but they were making no profit. You know.
So was that a lie? Were they selling it under a false umbrella?
No. It was very profitable. It's just it wasn't profitable for tax purposes. That's exactly what it is. That's the main word. Tax purposes. That's what you see everywhere.
A chancellor somewhere made that legal, didn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We need to find out what chancellor. We need to find out what chancellor did it, and what the reasons for that. Is it to get to get employment? Or would Starbucks pull out the UK? Would IKEA pull out the UK if they start having to pay?
The main thing is that people can say all they want. Right now, let's say for example, Starbucks employs 80,000 people, whatever it is. It's something like that.
Fucking hell, mate.
You know,
I didn't realise it was that fucking high.
It's all like part-time jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
No one really works full-time in there.
Let's find out.
It could be more than that, 80,000, you know. But let's say they employ all them people, and people say that they benefit the economy, and there are people out there who genuinely, government-wise, a month before that tax story broke, they were all fucking wanking off about Starbucks. Look at how many jobs they make. Look at all their investment. You know, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, fuck off. Fucking, we'll spend our money on something else, won't we? Yeah. If we're not going to spend that £3 billion a year in Starbucks, we're going to go and spend £3 billion somewhere else. There's going to be more jobs somewhere else. There's going to be more demand somewhere else. You know, while it'll be sad that so many thousand people lose their job.
149,000.
There you go. I was miles off. But so many people lose their job in that instant type of thing. But it swings and roundabouts. They'll all be employed in somewhere else eventually, you know. And you cannot let a company hold you hostage by saying, we employ this many people. Shit, fuck off. That's bullying. That's bullying, you know.
The way these companies are probably going to look at it, if they do eventually change the law, is do they want to make, after tax, £1.5 billion profit, right? So net after tax and after expenses, net profit, 1.5 billion in the UK market. But out of that, they've had to pay £500 million fucking tax. So let's say they've made 2 billion gross, and 500 million of that that's 25%, that isn't it?
Yeah.
500 million of that has gone to the exchequer as tax. Will they not want to make 1.5 billion net and pull out of the UK because 500 million is going out the company? Will somebody in the corporation miss that 500 million? Because where's it going to? Where's that money going to? Is it going to open more stores? Is it going to invest in new infrastructure? Or is it
you mean in the royalty payments?
Well, that money, that corporation tax that isn't being paid now by Starbucks and Vodafone, where is that money going to? We're still on.
Yeah, no, we are. That's just my fucking computer having a spaz attack.
Right.
Using too much internet. But the main thing behind it is, now, a lot of companies, benefit the country massively. They do. They've got loads of investment. They've got loads of this. They've got loads of infrastructure. Yeah, it's all set up.
And they're buying new, like you say, infrastructure. Hopefully, they are buying like when they rekit a shop. Hopefully, they're buying that from the UK. Probably not. They're probably importing it, but hopefully they are.
But the main thing to me is, now obviously the lowering the corporation tax, or it's already been lowered. I think I can't remember. The main thing behind it to me is, if you lower tax to a certain point, it will not be benefit. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these companies are slightly different, but if you lower tax a bit more, or a bit further, or whatever.
Which they're doing now. They eventually want to get to 20%, which sounds about right, paying about that.
The main problem behind it, then, is, let's say, now let's go to a personal basis. Let's forget about the company things. Let's go to people. Now, do you remember when the other year all them people, those 800 people, had been avoiding tax? They'd be paying 9% tax. If you remember, a lot of them worked for the BBC and ITV and stuff like that. Presenters like Jimmy Carr, etc., etc. Think about it. They're doing that to avoid the 40-odd% tax. Yeah, they're supposed to be paying anyway.
How are they doing that? How are individual stars doing it? How's Jimmy Carr doing it? Did you ever work out how he was doing it? That
was a very complicated tax system. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get my head around it at all.
What did you read? What did you pick up?
It was something along the lines of, you gave your money, your earnings, let's say, to whatever company it was. And they were under some fucking specific tax law in another country where it was basically, it was like legal money laundering. It was like,
I did hear that word. Is that like Harry Redknapp as well?
I don't understand how it specifically works, but it went in, a certain amount of money of it was processed out, and the rest of it came back to you tax free because it used some loop.
And we are back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We temporarily dropped off the bandwidth there.
Ustream had a shit fit.
Yeah, it was a problem at Ustream's end and not our end. Right, go on. Sorry, mate.
I can't even remember what I was saying then.
Well, we're back. Quality hasn't dropped or anything like that.
What was I saying? I can't remember.
Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, but if you lower the taxes slightly, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I just think the tax laws should officially be super simple. Literally, doesn't matter what infrastructure you give to the economy, how many jobs you give to the economy. It should just be that if you earn this amount of fucking profit, you get taxed this. Basically,
yeah.
If you are a proper company who knows the shit type of thing, you are gonna do that thing anyway. You are going to make loads of employees. You are going to make a good job. You are going to invest. You're going to do it anyway. Do you think, like, let's say McDonald's, that's a good example. I think they're pretty sure they probably avoid tax. They're still going to invest in their stores. They're still going to do it. Still going to invest. They're still going to need the staff. They're still going to, try and...
So is it all smoke without fire, or they're going to change the laws?
Oh yeah, they're going to try and change the laws. Whether or not they fucking do it, I don't know. That's another
so matter. Is it going to go through, like, voting? Is it going to have to go through parliamentary committees, and is it going to have to go through the House of Lords and then back to a vote?
Yeah. But
so it could fall down at all those hurdles.
No, I remember telling you something ages ago. I can't remember what it was now. There was, at one point, they did a big thing into it that loads of members of the Treasury,
Mm-hmm.
not MPs, just clerks.
Mm-hmm.
Loads of them would subcontract for banks,
Okay.
right? And these are the people that would lobby and come up with ideas and brainstorm on what tax laws to implement
Okay.
and how they would work. And these people then worked for companies within these banks that told clients how to tax avoid.
Oh, they shouldn't do that, should they?
That's fucking so wrong. You know,
Conflict of interest.
it's like
101.
It's like me being a police officer right now and telling my career criminal mate
Yeah.
how the fuck to get off.
Yeah.
How
Which,
it should.
that happens. That happens.
Oh yeah, obviously, but it's still not right, is it? You know, paying any money the police officer would fucking get done for that if he ever got caught, wouldn't he?
Well, if he's just advising a friend of the situation, if it's not illegal.
Yeah, if he's advising his mate how to avoid fucking getting done for murder, you know, that's another matter.
Well, you can't say how to. Or what, like, put words in his mouth and say, well, I was actually here. And
basically, that's exactly what they were doing for the clients.
I suppose.
You know, and the whole tax thing's fucking all fucked up. I've always been of the opinion that your tax, the amount of tax that we pay should be equal for all of us. Doesn't matter. A lot of people agree that it should be 20%, then 30%, then 40%. I don't. I think it should be a flat barrier. Literally, you earn so much money. The first amount of money you earn for this amount is tax free. Mm-hmm. Everything else after that is taxed at whatever the percent is. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it should be. And even if right now it meant I lost money, I would still agree to it.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No,
I
you
wouldn't.
Why? Why would you want to do that?
Because
why would you want to lose any money? I can't understand why. Fucking, do you know what you are, Tory? If you rip out your heart, it'll be fucking blue. I'm telling you,
the
royal blue.
I would genuinely agree to that. I really would.
Right, tell me what are the reasons why you would agree to lose money?
Because I think that absolutely the tax system should be completely equal across the board. It doesn't matter whether you earn fucking £5 million or whether you earn fucking £5,000. It should be equal. You should be under the same rule, same tax barrier, the same everything.
Right, I agree with that. It's two in it. No, I don't know whether I do agree with it. Don't you think people who are earning £500 million a year should pay a little bit more into society? Or are you thinking, for the reason why they made £500 million a year, they've obviously contributed in other ways for them to get 500 million?
Not necessarily that they for that reason, but if you think about it, if they've earned 500 million, let's say that the basic tax value was 25%, something like that. Mm-hmm. They have then paid £125 million in tax compared to the average Joe who's paying.
So why isn't it? Why isn't it that? Why is it not across the board? Did they want to move towards that?
Because over the years, the tax laws have fucking turned into something like that thick. You know.
Isn't that what UKIP want to do?
Yes.
UKIP want to scrap national insurance, and they want to keep just keep tax at 25%.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was 22%. I think was it 22% and a 15 grand tax barrier, something like that.
Would we be better off? It's not 22%. Nigel Farage said 25.
Was it?
Yeah, on Question Time. They asked him, and he said, "We will get rid of national insurance, and the tax would be 25%. What are we paying at the moment? 21, is it, or 20%?
20%.
20% plus national insurance, which
12%.
works. Sorry,
12% national insurance.
What do you mean?
National insurance is 12%.
Is it? So what's that combined off our salary?
32%.
32% of our salary.
32%, but you get you get £7,750 national insurance.
Maybe
free.
you do, mate. I don't. I get 9,000.
No, that's national insurance. You get 7,750 national insurance free. You get 9,440 tax free.
Do you know Ray in work? Do you know he's paying more tax than me?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, his tax code is like 774L. Mine's like or 874L. I know he's paying like £3. He's paying £5 more tax than me, and he's been doing that ever since he was.
He could be sitting on a fucking hefty check of a tax rebate there.
I've told him that
because he really should not be paying that.
I know.
Because I owe. I
was just about to say he might owe tax, but he said he's never had a letter off him saying that he owes tax.
I owe £126 tax this year. I also.
How?
Because fucking work didn't pay me me health insurance benefits, did they?
Right.
For 3 years, I didn't pay tax on my health benefits. Right. Bastards. So now I owe him 3 years.
See, that's worrying me. That I don't know whether a minute or I'm out of it.
You're not in it.
Right.
I remember you telling me.
Is it an automatic right though?
It was for me.
Right.
I had to sign it if I wanted Kayla to be in it or anything like that. But
yeah, I've had no documentation to say that.
But I had a very clear document in front of me telling me I was in Bupa. But I have 300 quid, 356 quid, something like that, knocked off my tax barrier for that benefit. I lose 300 and odd quid off the tax barrier for that benefit.
Are you gonna make profit on it?
It's like no, but it's like literally £2 a week. It's about £2 a week, something like that.
Well, I was in something called penny in the pound. For every pound I earned, I paid a penny into this healthcare thing. Healthcare thing, and I went in for an operation in 2006 on my back, and I was in hospital for a week, and I picked up my salary, and then I picked up an additional £30 a day I was in hospital, plus £200 because I was in for a week. So for the week in hospital, including my salary, ended up like it with £800. It was a fucking good week.
Well,
it was worth it. I mean, a penny in a pound. What's that? 200. At the time, I was only on £250 a week.
Well, our healthcare thing. I'm not entirely sure on the exact thing on it, but for every night I spend in an NHS hospital, I get £103.50.
Oh my god.
Just flat. That's all it is. You don't get anything extra on top of that. You just.
Right.
Obviously, but when I get moved to a private hospital,
is that because you go on statutory sick pay?
No. That is.
Are you salaried?
Yes. Well, no, I'm not. Let's throw that out. I'm not salaried.
Officially, right now, not what's happened in July.
No, I'm not salaried. I am on paper, but I'm not. I'm just not salaried at all, because a salary payment is you get paid the same regardless of quantity or quality of work. Whereas I get docked for coming in 15 minutes late.
Right.
So it's not salary, is it?
No, it's not.
It is on paper, but it's not.
Is it just a different type of salary? It's like a category B salary.
It's a fucking.
The problem with Great British Internet. Fucking. I thought fibre optic you can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, but fucking downloading fucks it completely.
So
Because you get such fast download speeds for downloading, then it just goes out the window.
So what?
If you download,
Yeah.
it takes up so much bandwidth because it's downloading so fast that it
Right.
just sucks everything else.
I thought fibre optic prides themselves on that 6 people can be downloading shit, but we're uploading.
No, it's a load of shit. Load of bullshit.
So they've advertised that. What did they advertise? Was somebody was having a house party, somebody was streaming music, somebody was having a shit on the toilet, and fucking they were doing whatever, fucking streaming a YouTube video, and somebody else was doing like a Skype call. That's what the product for. When you start downloading shit, does that then affect the upload as well?
Yes, it does. The whole thing's a fucking load of bullshit. Fucking, it all goes to complete fucking shit all the time.
What were we talking about?
Can't remember.
Tax.
No,
Oh, that's it.
we're past tax.
Work. Yeah. You texted me earlier today about the Federal Reserve on about quantitative easing.
Yeah.
Why is that a bad thing, and why aren't they doing it already?
Well, quantitative easing obviously is basically another word for print loads of money.
Yeah.
Print loads of money. Print loads of money.
Yeah. I thought they were doing
Now,
that already.
The Americans have been doing that anyway for years.
Okay.
They've just not been calling it an official policy.
Right.
And they want to suddenly make it official policy now. Now, to me, they've been printing for so many years now. And now that the global market's picking up a little bit,
Which they are.
Now that everything looks to be going a little bit better, they want to start printing more money. Fuck off. Stop printing.
What's the theory behind that? What's the idea behind printing more money? It will molest the market a little bit more.
Well,
it's put more money out there readily available to the banks to gamble. Where's the money going?
Well,
do you know when they're saying they're losing 600 million, something like that? Where's that 600 million going? How's it disappearing? Because it must be somewhere physically in cash.
You mean as in when a company says it's losing money? Well,
no, the markets today lost £6 billion, right?
Well,
is
that money that's lost? It goes into somebody's pocket, whoever sold the shares.
Right.
That's where it goes. The only reason why a company's value drops is because people sell the shares. Right. That's what it is. Like, let's say right now, tomorrow, Morrison's shares sells. It loses £100 million worth of shares. That means that somebody sold £100 million worth of shares. There's people out there, so many thousand people who've sold £100 million worth of shares between them. Right,
got
that's
you.
what it means.
Got you.
But obviously, because of that leaving the company, then all the shares that are left become less valuable. You know, so obviously Morrison's does get a chunk. They will get a chunk of that, if you know what I mean. I don't particularly know how it works, how it's integrated into the finance or whatever, but that's one of the simplest ways to put it. That if a company, you know, let's say, like, do you remember that day when BP lost fucking all that money, and they were like 150 billion down on the shares? Well, out there, a certain number of people have sold 150 billion worth of shares.
What about Apple then? Apple were at one point worth 260 billion. Now they're only worth like 123 billion. Now nobody's selling shares there, are they?
Yeah, shitloads.
So that's how that happened.
Yeah,
I thought, right.
What happened was they first started. Obviously, they were on exponential growth. They were going to grow forever.
Yeah.
Then
was that just predicted, or was that true?
That was just predicted,
right?
You know, but obviously the thing that backed it up was that every single year had been
record
growth.
Record growth.
Now I said it years ago.
Record launches.
No, I said it years ago. Partly being biased towards Apple anyway, because I don't like them. But
why don't you like them?
I just don't like the products. That's just me personally. I just don't like the products.
How can you not like them? They're stylish as fuck. Retina display. Quick as fuck. I don't understand. Is it a jealousy thing?
No, I just don't like the products. I've tried Macs, I've tried iPhones, I just don't like them at all.
What don't you like about them?
I don't like the
interface.
I don't like the interface. I don't think it's easy to use. I think it's watered down and locked down to fuck.
Yeah, it's locked down.
I think it's.
So you don't like the graphics? Is that what you don't like?
I don't like the graphics. I don't like the fact it's locked down.
The ethics.
The ethics. Well, yeah,
it
is partly
it's
that.
Like it's like your Xbox for me. I fucking hate Xbox, right? Yeah. Because of what they did to the Xbox One. But now they've lifted the restrictions. I like it a bit more. Would that happen with Apple? If you did lift a lot of restrictions, would you be?
I'd be open
tempted?
to it. I'd be open to it, but I'd still be. I doubt that they could offer anything to me that would make me buy one, because all the different things I require from a computer, which I don't really require them anymore, but I still take them. You know, for example, 120 hertz. You can't get that off a Mac. Good luck, can't do it.
What, a Retina display?
No, I was in 120 hertz off a Mac, you know, a MacBook or an iMac.
You're on about screen resolution.
Yeah, screen resolution 120 hertz.
Right, you need to explain to the people what you mean there by 120.
120 hertz is 120 frames per second.
Okay,
that's what it is. And obviously, you know as well as I do that I'm a bit anal. And
right now we're at 30.
Yeah, you know, I was a bit anal, like, and I used to play games obsessively. And whenever I stand in front of a screen, it's anything less than 90, I can see it. I can see that it's not 120 hertz.
The first time you walked into my house, you looked at my TV and you went, "I can see the lines in that." Yeah. I don't understand how you can say that.
Like right now,
I was running at 100 hertz.
Yeah, like right now, your laptop there, I can see diagonal lines on the top right from here. I can see him shimmering across. You know, I can see it every now and again, especially where the little green bar is for Ustream.
Is it? Have you ever took a photograph of a computer screen and it comes
it's
up?
Like that. It's like that, but diagonal.
Right. Okay.
But
did you just see things in Matrix?
Yeah.
Is that when you fucking
like
view the world in the fucking Matrix black background?
Yeah, I see like Neo does at the end of the first film. But
fucking hell, man.
Back to the original point with Apple. You know, I was biased to Apple when I said that I think they'll fail type of thing, but it was a genuine thing that I knew it would go to shit. And what happened
because of their ethics?
The first thing they said was they put out a slight profit warning saying they wouldn't ship as many iPhones as they thought on the iPhone 4S, or was it the 5? It was the 5.
They still broke records though. They were expecting to sell a lot more, but they still broke the iPhone 4S record.
That's what I mean. They broke records, right? But they'd advertised, you know, they were going to smash that record. They didn't. Right. They fucking just broke it. You know, they didn't get that many. You know, and it started with that, and a couple of people thought, "Whoa, hang on, no exponential graph, I'm off. See you later." You know, and then one came out for the what was it? The iPad Mini.
The iPad Mini, that's right. Yeah, the new Retina display iBooks as well. What are the laptops called? iBooks.
No, MacBooks.
MacBooks. Sorry, yeah. The MacBook's got an upgrade as well. They went to Retina.
Quite a few came out, and then loads of investors just jumped ship because all of a sudden all they seen was the risk just rising. You know.
But do you know what? Do you know what was behind that risk?
I would probably say something to do with Steve Jobs dying.
Well, it was driving force behind it. He sold the product really well. He was a great salesman, but it was just more of the same.
Yeah,
like the iPhone 3G, right? The next phone after that was the 4.
Yeah.
The 4S, the 4 was revolutionary against the 3G. It was a completely different phone.
Yeah.
The 4S was a better iPhone 4.
Yeah.
The 5 came along and it was like, hang on a fucking minute, we've had 2 4s. Oh, what, you're giving us that extra row? The screen's a little bit bigger and you're getting an extra processing power. It's the same phone, alright, you call it a different number and it's a little bit better technically, but we do not want that. We want to see physical change, and that was what the risk was behind it. Thinking, what the fuck, going forward, what the fuck are they going to do? Just keep on increasing the screen size? Well, this is a great podcast, man. Well done.
The main thing behind it was, now don't get me wrong, I got bored with Apple years ago, obviously, because I'm fucking biased, but I just see them stumbling at every turn, to me, just in my own eyes. I don't know whether everybody sees that, but what's the next big release that they've got coming out? They
6.
don't, so have they announced that yet?
It was supposed to be out in June, but I think they've pushed it back to September.
Well, they need to make that revolutionary, because I have gone through now in the last 2 years, I've gone from a HTC to a Nokia to give it a go. Gone from Nokia to Samsung, and Samsung I thought was fucking phenomenal. I really thought it was really good.
I can't believe you got rid of your Nokia, your Lumia, because I was so angry at you when you got the Nokia, because I thought to myself, and I said to you, fucking Nokia's dead.
Yeah,
Nokia is dying, but they recovered themselves really well, didn't they, with the Lumia, Microsoft. Is it Microsoft that is, isn't it?
That one is, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking, or Windows Phone, it's
the top
excellent.
One, the top one, the 920, comes with 2 ones. You can choose Windows or HTC. Now that's one of the biggest selling points to me for a phone is not Android. I mean, sorry. You could choose from the 920. You could choose to have Android or Windows. Now, to me, that choice, it makes a fucking difference. It makes a big difference. Because let's face facts. Right now, I know if I get a Windows one, currently at the moment, because they've not made it that well into the market yet. There's nowhere near as many apps. There's nowhere near as many games. There's nowhere near as many cool shit. Android's got fucking everything. It's literally got everything.
And it can be manipulated as well, and it's open to indie designers as well. Indie can do, you can do loads of the software.
People hack it to fuck. They can do all sorts to it.
And it's literally a case as well of basically just taking off the old operating system or installing a new one. With an iPhone, there's so much pissing about. It's easy to do once you know how to do it, but you literally got to fucking keep your fingers on one button for 10 seconds, release for 30 seconds, install new software, rebuild it, install something called Cydia.
I knew quite a few people a good few years ago who used to deal in Hackintoshes.
Hacking
people who made a computer like mine and installed Mac OS on it. Very illegal.
What did you call it? Hackintoshes?
Hackintosh they were called.
Right.
That's what they used to call them. I know a few people who made them, and they were nice. Because literally, you can't build a Mac. That's one of the biggest problems. That's why it was just wrote off for me from the start. You can't build a Mac.
They're not making profits on Macs, are they?
Not if they do, it's very little.
Okay.
It's very, it's very small because they went bankrupt twice making Macs.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And Microsoft bailed them out.
iPods fucking sold it. iPods saved them to fuck.
Yeah.
And then they pushed, and Jobs made a fucking big thing out of. As soon as the technology became available, his ideas took flight.
Yeah, they made the perfect phone. They did. The iPhone phone. The iPhone 1 was advertised that it's 5 years ahead of everything else.
He was 20, 30 years ago making computers that were not meant for that time. He did not. They did not have the technology for what he wanted to make.
Right.
Whereas in the later days, he absolutely did. And the iPhone showed him that off.
Yeah.
Now without him, I don't think they're going to be able to innovate. They can get all the best fucking people in the world, but there's not going to be enough innovation there. There's just not.
Is that due to the restrictions that the company imposes on employees because they're not transparent? They're not open to other developers, for example, Real Player and Flash Player and all that. They're not open to them.
The problem with it is that all the big companies now are trying to measure dicks with each other. They want to, this is my technology, that's my it doesn't, out there, what's going to happen is the company that suddenly decides one day, well, we've got all these fucking innovators, let's see what they come up with. That's the one who's going to make a good fucking phone.
It's going to be Nokia.
like now I know Jobs will have come up with quite a good few ideas for that, but you can guarantee he had a fucking workforce behind him of people who knew their shit.
Yeah.
And the fella who designs
he was pushing for perfection, though, wasn't he? He wanted the people to have the best.
And one of the best things that he did was took on that British fella. That British fella that designed that phone you've got there, the fella who designed the look of it. He's fucking brilliant. He's absolutely, and he still works for him now. But
what's happened? Why is the 5 come out and it was shit?
Because
not shit. Why is 5 come out and it's just a bigger iPhone 4?
Because he made that interface. He designed that interface. The same for the iPad, the full works.
So he hasn't got the creative vision to move forward and produce another design. It's not that hard.
I don't think he does. I think he's had his time.
He's lacking
now,
creativity.
But you find that people never continuously just, make it better one. It falls through eventually. Nokia's old phones, fucking brilliant. Do you remember them years ago?
Yeah.
Even up to the N95, they were still good. They were still there. And
3 days battery life.
And then as soon as fucking Apple and others pushed forward, and invented stuff, and Nokia just couldn't advance. They just couldn't do it.
They've
become stagnant.
Is that what Apple are doing now? Then is it a cycle? Because literally, since 2005, Nokia have gone from like having 83% market share to having something less than like fucking 60%. The massive in developing countries, aren't they? They've got all the old shitty phones that we had fucking in the start of the noughties.
The main thing is that I think Apple now are going down the same route that Nokia did.
I agree.
And they need to, if they do not innovate quick, their share price is going to bomb, and then they're going to be up shit street.
They must be pinning a lot on the iPhone 6. They must be.
Yeah, and it has to be something good.
Yeah,
it really does.
That's why I'm holding it. I can upgrade my phone now, but I won't do it. I want to see what the 6 is.
If they don't make something in innovation, really fucking good that blows the others to bits, they've got a big problem.
What could they introduce? What could they bring to the market? Obviously, it'd be a redesign of the phone. What do you want to see? We can't have glass phones yet. If you watch a lot of these films that are set 20 years in the future, their phones are glass, aren't they? It's a glass fucking screen, and pop it on, and it's high definition and all that bollocks. I don't think we're quite there yet. So what can they bring to the market in terms of a redesign of the phone?
Your phones generally now, most of your displays are top notch.
Yeah, I'm talking about the look of the phone, not talking about the software at the moment.
The look of the phone.
See, if the iPhone 5 was a different design and didn't look like a 4, psychologically it's just a bigger iPhone 4, so they need to do something with the look of the phone. What could they do? They could get rid of the home button, couldn't they? All that could be flush.
They could always go down the route of 100% touchscreen.
Yeah. The likes of the speaker and the camera and the thing that's infrared or motion detector.
They can easily make them invisible.
Exactly, yeah. And just have that as a complete black screen.
Well, that's what I mean. If they went as literally just the whole front of the phone was just a touchscreen, that'd look fucking good.
That's the rumour that they're going to do now.
But like I said, they need to innovate. They really do.
What do you think they need to do in terms of software design?
Software, they need to open it.
They're not going to do that.
They're not going to open it. They're thick. That's the problem. They're not going to do that because they're that obsessed with it. Now, the fella that I knew who made Hackintoshes. Now, I don't specifically know how it worked, but some of the stuff that he could do, that he could do to that basically what it is. He would buy. I think if I remember rightly, the last time I ever spoke to him, it was Snow Leopard, the operating system he was on then. Yeah. So you're talking a good few years ago. And I remember him buying it, and it came in this big fucking sleeve and everything. He literally just bought the operating system just as the disc. If you know what I mean, installed it on his computer, and he could manipulate everything in on it. He could do it, and there's no denying that Apple's operating system is smooth.
Right.
There's no denying it, especially on computers. It is smooth as fuck. Locked down, but it's smooth as fuck. Now, a year ago or a year and a half ago, he sent me a link for a theme for Windows, and it was literally Mac OS on Windows.
Okay.
Right. Just a theme, that's all it was. And I installed it, and it was fucking phenomenal. It was so fast. It was all the links at the bottom, no start bar, no nothing. It was phenomenal.
Right.
I couldn't get used to it, but it was phenomenally fast. There was no loading bars. It was just literally click, bump.
Right.
Dead quick. And if they opened it up and branched out instead of being so locked down, they could make so much more money out of it.
I agree.
If they went out into the market of being the rival to Windows. You know, if they made it, we will make an operating system for PC. That's a big one. That's a fucking big one.
Would you switch?
I would give it a go.
Yeah.
I'd fucking well give it a go. And I mean, by give it a go, I mean I'd buy it. I'd give it a go. Because I'd like to. If they could make something where you could do everything you could on a PC but faster, I'd give it a go. It's sold. You know, that's sold to me. If it's faster, fucking well, give it a go.
The products do look good, don't they? The MacBook does look fantastic.
Yeah, I heavily considered an iMac a few years ago, but I couldn't take the screen.
The new iMac looks really nice. You've seen it looks like a dusty bin.
I went and tested all the iMacs in the store. You know, the 23-inch and the 27-inch versions. I tested them, and they felt brilliant. You know, they looked dead good. They looked really nice and everything, but I got headaches.
That's the iPhone 6.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's I'm a liar. That's a concept of the iPhone 6. What do you think?
Something like that, without the middle button at the bottom, and without the camera, well, whatever the fuck that is at the top.
Yeah.
If they had that, the whole screen, more or less, give or take the 2 mil around the side, or even if they moved the power button onto the side, or is the power button already on the side?
No, it's not. It's on the top of the phone.
So is that it? Well, so you got the power button there. Now, to me, if they made that screen literally the full whack except for the 2 mil around the edge, that would be good. That would look fucking fab. You know, to me, that would look fucking fantastic. That's the next route. To me, the next route is no buttons, no nothing. Just like you said, you know, the futuristic thing. That's the next step to me.
Hello, Dale Burrows at Dale7B on Twitter. Thank you for watching.
You know, I've obviously got the Note, which is fucking humongous. If anybody hasn't already seen it, but I think that looks fucking brilliant because there's much more screen size.
Yeah.
Is
it too big?
Well, you can get it in the S4, which is much smaller, if you know what I mean. But
is the Note just a bigger S4 then? What's the difference?
Well, this is just a bigger S3. This is made before the S4.
Right. So was it the same processing power as the S3?
No, it's more. It is more than the S3.
Right. Okay.
But obviously, it's much bigger.
Right.
You know. Now they are making a new one of them, which is more powerful than the S4, but even bigger.
I do like that.
Allegedly, it's gaining nearly an inch in size.
It's too big, man.
That would hurt, but I'd love it.
You see, that is the only phone at the moment. I do like the 4S, but that phone for me is the perfect size. I really like it. See, the only reason why I'm staying with Apple at the moment, I keep on saying the only reason. One of the reasons why I'm staying with Apple at the moment is I've got Apple TV.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm watching on my phone, right, I can put that fucking, as we do with your USB cables, I can put what I'm watching on my phone onto a screen, and then I can back off out of what I'm watching on my phone, and I can text, right, and it's still, the video's still playing on the screen. Yeah. So I could be watching YouTube and let's say I'm watching an Alex Jones show, or that's playing, and I'm on Facebook, I'm fucking I'm tweeting and all that, and it's still playing. That is so fucking handy. I didn't realise how handy that could be until I started using it. It's fucking great.
See, I was like that with dual screens. I could not go back to one screen now. I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
I do want to, that obviously, as the viewers can't see, but I've got two screens set up in front of me, but I'm definitely going to lower that screen up there, lower, so it's like here, you know, so it's closer, because when I bought the house and I put that up there, I didn't realise that it would affect the angle of the screen. So sometimes if I'm sat here on the computer, I can't quite see what's at the top of the screen, which is a bit of a pain, so I need to angle it further down, but I know that for the future now anyway. But that screen now is fucking 5 years old now. I know it doesn't look it. That's 5 years old. That was like concept design at the time as well.
I'm just looking at my wanking arm. Look at that, mate. That's a fucking gun and a half.
Oh yeah, fucking a gun. Yeah.
K.O.
I love that monitor. You know, when I got it off them gypsies, it fucking boss.
How much was it worth?
It was when that monitor, if there's anybody on watching who knows the shit, it's a Syncmaster 2233RZ, like the first 3D monitor ever made for computers, and that was 600 quid with the 3D glasses, which I've got there, and I bought it off some shitty fucking website.
Oh yeah.
Called Tickwick, which didn't even exist, right? And it still doesn't exist now.
It was just there for one sale.
In my opinion, yeah. And it was just there. And I ordered it, and it came through on the email, invoice number 1. And I got it for 140 quid, and I thought, I've just been robbed. Someone's just robbed my fucking money. I'm a dickhead. Why did I do it? Why? And about 2 weeks later...
What was the value of it?
600.
Okay.
I got it for 140.
Motherfucker, what a lucky bastard.
And I thought to myself, I accepted from that minute. As soon as I seen that invoice number, I accepted. I've just been robbed. I'm a dickhead. I shouldn't have ordered it. I'm a complete plank.
Yeah,
why
but you
did
knew
it?
you
Why?
were going to get your money back, weren't you? You could have got your money back.
Well, yeah. Well, no.
Or was it your bank account, not credit
It's my
card?
bank account.
You know, bad.
But I just thought, I've just been robbed. I'm fucked. You know, it's happened. Cancel my bank card and everything. I did. I thought, I'm a fucking knobhead. I don't know why I did it. And then about 2 weeks later, I was sat in work, fucking in the office, and fucking Kayla phoned me. She said, parcels just come for you. So what do you mean parcels are coming for you? I have not ordered anything. She said, I don't fucking know. She had fucking 2 gypsies pulled up in a fucking in a Range Rover. One of them got out and just handed me the parcel, and no shit, it was in like a fucking small washing machine box, right? I fucking got home and I thought, what the fuck is this? Yeah. When I opened it up, there's a brand new Samsung 2233RZ box in the middle.
Oh my fucking God.
And it was still in the cellophane, right?
I mean, well done for him for doing that.
I got it out and opened it, and it was fucking legit and everything. Yeah. Oh, I was so happy. And so I'd literally, and everybody I knew at the time, had been drooling over that monitor at the Lands, and I took it to the gaming event, turned up, and everybody was like, oh my God, how'd you afford that? You know, I was only like 18. Yeah. How'd you afford it? And I was like, fucking, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
It got robbed from me.
What's that AMD sticker on it? Is that something you put on there?
That was what I stuck on it.
I was about to say, fucking, a TV, got a TV that old having a fucking processor in it.
I've got on it I've got an AMD sticker, which has been processor at the time, which is a Phenom 2 by the looks of it. So you're talking about 5 years ago. That's one next to it is a XFX Black Edition graphics card I had. On the back of it, which you've never seen the back of it, there's a label for my seat at the gaming event at the time, my tournament seat. It's still on there. There's
what country was you in?
UK.
Right.
There was actually 7 labels on that from all over the place. You know, stuck on top of each other. Yeah. Just kept sticking them. There's also Steel Series sticker and Razor sticker and all sorts on the back. I was going to make it look awesome, but then I gave up.
Like my laptop.
Yeah. Death Squad.
I've just turned the fucking camera.
Oh, you fucking spanner.
Yes, I am.
Are we back on?
Yeah, we're back. We're back in the room.
But I was fucking made up when I got that monitor. You know, I've never bought anything knockoff to my knowledge, but I was fucking made up when I got it. I really was. And then I was absolutely gutted when I couldn't get that one knockoff, the fucking upgraded version of it, which is which you can't see on the camera.
What a beautiful screen. That's the nicest screen I've ever seen.
I should think so for 950 fucking quid.
I love my TV, but that is the only other screen that I would really want.
I'll show the viewers. Fuck it. I'll show off. Show off the fuck. Right, that is the 950 quid. One. That is how thin it is. I don't know if you can see properly. But it was very, very expensive, that one. There's the knockoff Nige monitor that I got off some fucking dodgy ass gypsies. But yeah, fucking well worth it. You see, the worst thing is I'd have paid the fucking money for that as well. You know, for that one up there. Like with this one. It is a nice monitor, that though. I fucking love it. I'm still in love with that monitor.
I am. It's a proper monitor. If there ever is such a thing, it's a proper one. If you wanted the perfect monitor, that is it. 3D ready, that is the fucking monitor I want.
Just looks nice as well, doesn't it? Just the display on it.
What's the hertz on it?
120. Full wet. Every 3D monitor's got to be 120 hertz. They've got to be capable of 120 hertz. You know, to do it, because what happens is you've got one screen on there which is 60 hertz. And then your 3D layer is 60 hertz as well. So your monitor's got to be able to capable of 120 in total, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what it's like with others, but I don't know what it's like with TVs or anything. But for monitors, it's 120. Or it was. I know Alienware made a 120 version, which I was going to get, but it just didn't look that thrilling. And then I seen that as a concept design, and I thought, no, I'm having it.
That's a beautiful concept design, man. It was worth it, mate. It really was. How old is the screen?
That now, 2 years maybe.
Doesn't look like a 2-year-old screen, does it?
No. Something like that, about 2 years it'll
Is
be.
there an upgraded version of that?
Not yet.
Not yet. No,
I've been
I'd say.
checking. See, Samsung, when they do the concept ones, they very rarely do it.
So how much is that screen worth now? It must have held its value. Or is there still sales out there?
I don't know. What's it called? Samsung SA950. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's just fucking bore the viewers with. Let's see how much.
Hijack the internet.
Yeah. Samsung SyncMaster SA950. SyncMaster SA950. Fucking hell. Come on. I will find the 5. SA950. Let's go shopping. Fucking hell. 431 quid.
You're joking. I'm getting one.
That's kick attack, that. Fucking hell. There's none on sale there. Apart from that one.
That's probably bullshit, isn't it?
I would say so. Well, let's eBay it. Amazon. That looks promising.
Used.
Currently unavailable. You twat. Come on, got to be some on eBay, hasn't there?
Yeah.
eBay. Full HD LED. Blah blah blah. No way. Fuck off. Get out. Oh fucking hell! You can't find it. Like I said, I'm sure at the time that only 1,000 were made, something like that. Fucking hell, there's none even on
Why
eBay.
was there only 1,000 made?
I don't know. Well, like I said, they don't often sell that many of them.
So how many HDMI ports has that got?
2.
2. So
Something like
theoretically, I could connect my Skybox to that, couldn't I?
Plus a DVI one.
Has it got sound?
Yeah, look at that. There you go. Brand new. Buy it now. 875 quid.
What's his rating? 99.2%. Has it got sound?
This?
Yeah, the
No.
screen. It's
No.
got no sound. So you'd have to have your own speakers.
Yes.
That's not a hard thing to do.
Brand new, unopened, undamaged. Yeah, so 875 quid. Good investment.
It was a good investment, it really was. It's
the-
held, what's it lost? Fucking 10%? 9%, something like that.
Yeah.
Right, it's coming up to 1 a.m. in the morning. We're going to need to wrap this motherfucker up.
Yeah.
This has been the Go Forth and Amplify podcast from DeathSquadUK.com. We are in no way affiliated with Brian Redband's original setup, but he inspired us to do this podcast. This has been Ben Burrows at Brit Podcaster on Twitter and Declan Whiteside at Deanna Goes Undead on Twitter. Thanks for joining us. We should hopefully be back next week with a Hit Me Man and Fresh podcast special, and the following week another Go Forth and Amplify podcast, episode 4. See you on the other side. Ray.